Rising Afro Tech artist Obiie King is on a mission to capture his music lovers with his sound. With the release of his latest single, Veins, he shares an intimate glimpse into his inspirations, his journey and his ambitious plans for the future. Growing up in Alexandra, where he discovered his passion for music amidst the lively rhythms of his neighborhood, and that's where he drew influences of his music. So as an artist, Obiie King is committed to pushing boundaries and challenging the status quo. And he joins us now in studio this morning to tell us more about his journey. Obiie King, great having you on this show. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
Happy New Year, man.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
Let's talk about how your musical journey started. Culminating in the release of your single Veins. What really inspired the title?
Everything inspired the title in this world. Love specifically, love, nature, so I actually partnered with the talented Yara Lira and the talented Kevinton on the guitar. We came through on studio, we actually did our thing, and she actually came up with Veins, and which was something amazing. I was like, what is Veins? I actually asked myself what Veins is, but as she explained it to me, she was like, it's actually love created. And I was like, this is something special, and everything inspired me when it started in music, attending a whole lot of parties in Alex, seeing a whole lot of DJs doing their thing. So I was actually very...
So having grown up in Alex, that's where your love for music was sparked?
That's where it began, because I actually saw a whole lot of DJs going out and about. I was actually inspired and intrigued when it came to the equipment as well. I actually wanted to learn, and surprisingly, I'm self-taught, and I just looked at the equipment and I became self-taught. No one actually taught me how to DJ or produce.
How cool is that?
That's so cool, because I was like, this is a God-given talent, man, and if no one has taught me how to do it, then this is a God-given talent. So that's where it actually began, in the hood in Alex.
So since you are self-taught, is it safe to imagine or assume that you taught yourself all the other aspects of your music as well, songwriting, compiling, and everything in between? So
mostly I do production. I do production, and then I call certain vocalists to come and place their vocals on my instrumentals. So I can't even do songwriting in between, I can't do any of that. So this is why I just call people to just come maneuver and add their vocals on my instrumental. So I do production, and that's actually what I went to school for. For production.
Got you. Now, in terms of understanding your work and your artistic craft, how would you define it?
I would define it as, I don't know even how to put it properly, but I would define it as, I don't know. I'd say a God-given talent, man.
Maybe your genre. Maybe let's first start by defining your genre.
Afro house.
Afro house.
Afro house, Afro Tech, because that's one genre.
What's the difference between Afro house and Afro Tech?
I think with Afro Tech has a whole lot of synthesizers in between, and with Afro house has like percussions, more of percussions, drums, African drums. So when it comes to Afro Tech has like more of synthesizers and a more fast-paced beat, more than Afro house. But they're more of the same thing also, because there's this.
And you mentioned both. So where do you fall?
I fall into both.
Into both?
Yeah, into both. And then we've got Trick-Step, the new genre that came in as well.
Sure.
It actually forms under Afro House and Afro Tech. So it's more of the same thing, all in one, all infused in one sound. But it's actually called Three-Step, and then there's Afro House, and then there's Afro Tech. Yeah.
So what themes do you normally explore in your sound? You did mention earlier on that you sing about love, but is love the only theme that runs through your music?
Love is not the... And surprisingly, the vocalists that come to me want to sing about love, So it's actually up to the vocalists on what they sing, they come and sing. So my job is to just produce, come up with that instrumental, but I give them room to express themselves, like they need to express themselves however they want to. So if they want to talk about love, it's love. If they want to talk about nature, it's nature. So I give room to them, but I'm not specific on let me go for love. But
Okay.
yeah, I go for everything.
Got you.
Yeah.
And how do you approach blending traditional African sounds with, Afro Tech elements?
Yeah, because I put more of percussions in my instrumentals.
Okay.
And this is why I'm able to blend, both more of African, and like an African flavor, more than the other stuff, synthesizers and all of that.
Oh,
so
okay.
yeah,
Right,
I'm specifically more on drums, because that's what I started playing actually. Started playing the drums when I was 3 years old. Also self-taught drumming, nobody taught me how to drum as well, So that's where it actually began, and that's where I actually fell in love with drumming. Specifically I drum. This is why most of my projects, we've got like nice percussions in between. It's not that empty thing, but I've got like more of drums in it.
And there's just something about music that is accompanied by drums, man.
Yeah,
It makes it just out of the ordinary. I mean, mentioning the likes of Black Motion, who always have drums in their sets.
Of course.
I've seen DJ Fresh's performances.
Of course.
Sometimes he has drums. There's just something about drums, So who are your musical influences?
Cairo, to start off with. Cairo,
Okay.
Black Motion, and these are all infused in African stuff. And this is why I fell in love with the sound, and this is why I even started working with the likes of SABC. I worked with SABC on a whole lot of projects, because we into one sound that we actually, connect with, which is drums, which is, percussion. So I'm more specifically on percussions, as it speaks a whole lot to me, more than anything else. Okay. So when it comes to that, I'm more specific on drums.
Okay.
And I'm a spiritual person as well. So I'm very spiritual. So when drums actually play, I just
Something
get
in you is invoked.
Something in me is evoked. So I'm more of that.
Right. All the best, man. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much, man. Shout out to you.
All the best, eh? All right, that was Obiie King talking to us about his latest offering, Veins, which serve as a reflection on his life experiences, channeling his emotion into, a sound that is totally unimaginable, both invigorating and thought-provoking.